Sports for Real with Coach Hall. How is this for irony? The Washington Commanders have been sent a demand letter by a Native American group to get this, bring back the name Redskins. Now, if you have any understanding about how the Redskins name eventually came to be changed, you know that from way back in the 1930s when the name was changed from the Boston Braves to the Washington Redskins, it's been a fight by Native American organizations to get the name changed. Now all of a sudden, the Native American Guardian Association, they said that they want the name changed because they don't want recognition of their culture or identity of sorts to be just swept away. And get this, they have polled people and like 60% of them said that they agree. Not only that, they say that teams like the Kansas City Chiefs and Chicago Blackhawks and a couple other teams with Indian-related names, Florida State Seminoles for one, they seem to be okay with their name, so what's wrong with the Redskins? Well, I don't know what poll they conducted or who they talked to, but of that 60%, had they talked to me, I would likely have agreed, but not for the reason that you might expect. I would prefer they had the old name because that's what I come up with. All I know was the Washington Redskins, just like I knew the Houston Oilers, just like I knew the Cleveland Indians. It has nothing to do with what they were called. It could have been called anything. But if that's what I started out with and that's what I knew for, say, 50 years, that's what I tend to refer to those teams as. I understand the political correctness situation and I'm not getting into any of that. I'm not picking a side, none of that. I'm talking about from my personal standpoint, because I knew a team a certain way for X amount of years, no matter what you call them to me, they're still going to be that way. Now, there's been a movement of sorts in the South in particular the last several years to get a lot of the names changed off schools and other places because they were named after Confederate soldiers or Confederate officers. The biggest name is Fort Bragg. We found out that Fort Bragg had Confederate ties, and the name has been changed and it cost the government $6 million. It's become a political hot button, with some people saying they will change the name back regardless of the history attached to it. So when you think about that case, it's almost the same as this Native American group saying that we want this name changed back. A lot of fans, whether they say it or not, they're probably going to agree with the group, not because of political reasons, it's because, like I said, they grew up with that name, they came to know that name, and that's who they are. So you can call them what you want, you can pick a side how you want, but from a personal interest standpoint, most of those people, they just want to be back to how they came to know that particular team. Now, the Commanders organization, they just finalized the sale for $6.05 billion with the Josh Harris Group, which we know includes Magic Johnson, and they're going to have to deal with this issue. But the group says if the Commanders don't take them serious, they're going to protest, just like what you see on the likes of Anheuser-Busch with the Bud Light situation, and it's cost them, I know, up to $27 million, and it's counting. The Commanders don't want to deal with that right now, especially since you have an ownership change. So it's going to be very interesting to see what developments take place concerning this issue. And it's not just the Commanders or this particular group. The NFL at some point is going to have to weigh in and say something about what's going on, because it's not just about what the fans think, it's about corporate sponsorships. And if you recall, former owner Dan Snyder said he would never change the name of the team. But when they started losing all that sponsorship, he had no choice. So I think in the end, the name is probably going to be changed to something else other than the Commanders or the Redskins. So I'll keep you posted. Sports for Real.